My name is Susan O. I am 53 years old, and I have completed 150 hours in the EE room. I was looking for a solution for my mom, who was at the time recently diagnosed with dementia. And so I did a Google Maps search and came across Maahi and the EE system. So then I called the center, and of course, you, Dee, answered. And I really respected your thorough and very thoughtful answers and how holistically you looked at health. You weren't just talking about the technology and the science behind it, and you weren't just talking about the benefits that people will feel because, of course, everybody will say, "Oh, you're going to feel like rested and at peace and calm," but until you actually feel it and then understand the context of it holistically in terms of the nutrition, the detox bath regimen, the meditation, and the setting the intent. Uh, all of that works together and just made sense to me. So we kept in touch for like about a year, and I would see these like trials and these events, but it was just getting my mom to go. So when you said that there were two spots open, I jumped at the chance and immediately booked my mother and I in because, of course, she wasn't going to go without me, and so. Because her dementia had advanced greatly. Uh, I left her with my sisters for 5 months while I had to travel for work. And when I came back, she was in a near vegetative state. She had a dead blank stare. She had involuntary stiffening of the limbs, which can be a symptom of dementia. And she wasn't talking or walking. And so it was really out of desperation that I signed us both in. Within 1 month, and I don't know how many hours that would be, like maybe 30 hours. Uh, she just broke out. Every time we left the center, she would have this big smile on her face. And I don't know if you've ever seen that dead blank stare of advancing dementia. It can be terrifying when you see it on a loved one because you know that they don't know who they are and they're just not aware. So after the first month, she just broke out into a big, giant smile and started talking to people at the center. And, we drove up. We were driving, taking a taxi from the center home, and my mother says, "Oh, we're almost home because, of that building." And I just looked at her and I said, "Do you know where we are?" She goes, "Yeah, yeah, yeah. We're right up there." And that moment was everything, because she wasn't even talking a month before that. Well, I thought it was great, right? Because, as a consultant in deep tech for 5 to 10 years, I travel 20 to 25 days a month globally, everywhere from Zurich to Dubai, and I was based out of New York. I got by for a good part of 8 years on 4 to 6 hours sleep a night, and I thought I was fine, because I look fit, I look younger than my age of 53, obviously. And I thought I was fine, and I was just there for my mother. But as soon as I entered that room, I just felt this low radial buzz of calmness uh, that just enveloped me. And it was almost like I wanted to fall asleep, but um, I wasn't. I could choose to gently drift off, or I could think about things or see things from different perspectives. I started lucid dreaming within the first week. And after that first month and a half, um, you know, how, you know, how does an ice cube feel when it floats in water? Was a line from The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. Like, I didn't know you could feel that way. I have never in my life felt so calm and had such a deep, full rested sleep. I was sleeping a full 7 hours for the first time in my life. And everything became easier and much more conscious and thoughtful. So now that my nervous system was reset and I was sleeping better, everything became easier because I was calm and lucid and conscious. And I felt this quiet joy about things. And it allowed me to make better health choices, make better food choices, made better decisions about who I was talking to, how I was going to spend my time and my thoughts, and how I was going to respond to things that I could or couldn't change. And so afterwards, I quit vaping. And I had tried for years to do it, but never quite managed. I've been smoking on and off since I was 14 and had quit many times before. But uh, having the vape and feeling that artificial stimulus versus when I'm really clear and happy and aware and settled after a good night's sleep and I'm eating well and I'm meditating, um, really showed me the difference of that compared to the artificial stimulus I got from the vaping and the unctuous fake flavors and the film in my mouth. So it just became easier to just give it up and not bother. And the same thing with alcohol. It was recently my birthday and had a big birthday party in Prague and then partying in London. And after having that sense of wellness and that burst of energy, and then having a drink for me, uh, it was just a no-brainer. I'm like, my face was hot. I felt like weirdly kind of like groggy and foggy. Uh, and I just thought, this is nothing in comparison to the clarity and the clearness and the happiness that I feel when I'm not drinking. So I just had my last drink on the exact date of my birthday. And I lost taste for red meat. I think I was always this way because I've always loved animals so much. And I've tried to be a vegetarian 3 times before and made it up to 6 months. But because I was just so tired and bogged down, I would just go back to, my regular diet and what was easy. But now that my health and my entire nervous system was reset, I didn't feel tired. Um, I felt nourished when I ate the foods that I wanted to eat and avoid the foods that I didn't consciously want to eat, in which case, because I'm such an animal lover, it was meat. So it's been a complete change. When I landed in Prague in July, just a month ago, my friends that I've known for 8 years, and I just seen them like maybe 3, 4 months before in Switzerland. And she said, my friend Schulpen said, Susan, what's changed? You're like a completely different person. You're so much calmer now. You seem happier. Uh, and so that that was a really great kind of validation for me when those that I love around me can tell. Uh, I came from, like most people in North America, not an ideal home situation. My sisters are narcissists, and I was scapegoated, and so I'd always been in this kind of like frozen, flight or um, fight or flight kind of mode for most of my life, probably all of my life. And after getting enough sleep and the nervous system reset and feeling this calm, my thoughts didn't circle rapidly anymore, and I could see so many wider choices of how to respond, whether it was somebody that was insulting me or those microaggressions. I knew that I could always choose not to respond and take a moment to center myself, or just even external stimuli. I'm neurodivergent. I have ADD, so I'm always wearing these like giant noise canceling headphones, especially with about as much as I travel. And I was at the airport, and in the next lineup, there was a child about maybe 3, 4 years old, just screaming. As all kids do at some point. They have that freak out, and most people are just sort of trying to ignore it and rolling their eyes and averting. And normally I would just jack up whatever sound healing that I had in my headphones. And instead, I just sort of like kind of peeked it over and I looked over at him and because I had that clarity and I could see the situation for what it was, I just looked over at him and just started making like little, called out to him with a little whistle, like, hey, hi, and just started waving at him and started blowing him kisses with a big smile on my face so that maybe I could share like that this is okay and this is a safe place. Um, and he was shocked and he kind of like pulled away and kind of hid behind his mom and then looked back at me and then started waving back. And it was just such a small moment, but it was just so magical. And just everyday things that we encounter that I've probably seen this scenario hundreds of times, if not thousands, in the 40 years that I've been flying commercial. And that was the first time that I was able to uh, see all the different range of emotions and responses that I could have, and chose the one that I thought would be best. And it was just magical, just that one tiny thing. I never realized what people meant by nervous system reset. I have done breathing exercises. I've studied meditation for 25 years, everything from transcendental to mindfulness meditation. And I've done all sorts of different personal bests, modalities, long distance running, extreme fitness, stem cell, red light. I've done all those things, but this is the first time in my life where I feel that I am truly myself and at my very best, at my very possible best, because I'm consciously leading that growth, decision by decision, breath by breath. It's nothing short of life-changing, to come to true sense of peace and surety and safety within my own body. With the EESystem, I feel that now that my body and my cells are charged, it's brought me so much sense of clarity and safety and surety that I don't struggle with myself anymore. I don't doubt myself as much in my perceptions because I'm clear, and I don't second guess my responses, and I don't have regretful moments of reacting and that reactivity, because I am responding cogently no matter the pace and um, the space and the pace at which the stimuli and things come up. And so I think if everybody had a reset, and I'm so grateful for the E-system for this, so everyone had a reset with good sleep and a reset nervous system and a sense of that calm clarity of who they are, and being sure in their perceptions and having safety and clarity, the world would be a much better place. And I think world peace would be possible.